Hi, I'm Wubs, and the very first Call of Duty I ever played was Black Ops 1 on the Wii. I was using the motion controls to aim on that really annoying Wii gun thing that kinda looked like a gun. If you used your imagination, I guess. Either way, that was the second most fun experience I've ever had with a video game up to that point. The first being Wii boxing. I mean, of course. Fast forward to today, I've had a decade plus between now and then, and a lot has changed, but the one thing that hasn't changed is how much I enjoy Call of Duty, specifically Black Ops 6. However, I had taken a large break between Black Ops 6 and the last title I had ever played, which was Black Ops 4. Every COD between then, I have never touched. Are you noticing a trend with the Black Ops games? Well, you can stop noticing. This video is not about any of those, though I do want to make a video on Black Ops 4 because it's so good and y'all are sipping haterade for no reason, but I digress. Now, my friends, I am here to showcase, praise, and hopefully even convince some of you, that Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is the most underrated Call of Duty ever made. Wait, don't click off. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Wubs, there's not a soul alive that would ever touch this game with a 10-foot pole. You already made that horrendous multiplayer map tier list for Black Ops 6, and now you're gonna tell us that this game is the most underrated? Yep. Well, anyways, this is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and it's the most underrated Call of Duty ever made. 2014 was the summer of ISIS and Ebola, and by some disaster, the internet would have made you think that Call of Duty Advanced Warfare was somehow worse than both of those things combined. Ebola, ISIS? Isbola? Icebola? Anyway, there was me off of my own little corner watching the trailer for this game on repeat. When I tell you this was everything I had ever wanted in a video game at this point in time, I mean it wholeheartedly. But we'll get to everything soon. Needless to say, I was so excited to get it. Fast forward a few months and my brother comes to visit us with his old computer in tow. He bestows this gift upon me for my birthday, and that's how Wubs is made. He helps me make a Steam account and tells me pick one game you want, and I'll get it for you. You can guess which game I picked. This game has so much to love, and to start, we're gonna go to the very beginning. I have rewatched the advertisements for this game on my own time more times than I care to admit. Okay, I admit it's been like 7 times. Kill me. The campaign trailer sells it on its own, but what really got me was the advertisement for the multiplayer. I can't play the whole thing, but just watch the first few seconds. It's all over my screen. Where's my towel? The most impressive part of it all is the gameplay looks exactly the same. You'll see the teasers that make the graphics look better or that show you some cute little cutscene. This teaser is literally just gameplay and it's the coolest shit ever. The only bummer was the secondary game mode being survival, which...
It's gotta be zombies. There's no way. It has to be zombies. It has to be zombies. Okay. Multiplayer. Go to co-op. Go to co-op. Go to co-op. Go to co-op. Go, okay. Is this co-op? First look, EXO survival.
Oh shit, they have exosuits?
Everything in its path.
Give me that shit right now. These were fucking awesome, but these were just the trailers. It had to deliver on what it was showcasing. Okay, AW, I'll bite. What do you got? I think it's only fair to start this video with the weakest part of AW, but that hardly means this part is bad. The campaign on AW is pretty good. It's fun, diverse, tells a coherent and easy to follow story with likable and memorable characters. It's the weakest part of this game because every other aspect, except survival, is so great in so many ways. The campaign is admittedly very predictable in its finish. Like, let's be honest, we knew the second this motherfucker was playing the good guy, we were in for a twist villain, like come on. However, it's all landed so nicely and tied together so well that the ending is still satisfying. To save you some time, we're gonna give a brief overview of the campaign missions and why I love them. The campaign starts with you on a mission with the Marines, introducing you to an independent militia and showcasing everything great about this game, from the graphics to the mechanics to the movement system to the fucking sick grenade that you can change to whatever you want, giving you a bajillion options to attack any mission. What the fuck? This is so fucking cool. What is this? We get the infamous press F to pay respects meme. Then we're introduced to the good guy and our regular crew. We go on a badass mission, then get introduced to Hades, essentially the Ted Kaczynski of AW. It shows a propaganda ad for Atlas, then it's time to hunt down Hades. On whose authority? On my authority! Hades dies and the plot thickens. We see that Iron Sr. is the bad guy, but Gideon has never seen the plot to any movie ever. You go do your thing and all the characters reunite, even the old sergeant, who's now part of a subsect of the US known as Sentinel. Evil Elon Musk is after something called Manticore and we gotta stop him. We track the plane carrying Manticore, then we intercept him. Something Arctic. Gideon clutches up to help us. We get a sample and a friend. Turns out Manticore kills everyone that isn't a member of the Atlas militia, and they're mass producing. We sabotage Atlas until he does a TED talk to the UN, cutting the gnarliest promo on the government. Atlas becomes a terrorist organization and says it's the US's fault because they keep getting into wars, and he wants to end all wars by killing off the US, which... fucking stupid. We're on another mission and oh shit, a drone swarm again? Wait, what the fuck? Manticore goes boom skadoodle and we're safe because we were Atlas, but then we get captured, and this, in my opinion, is the best mission in the whole campaign. It's not the most flashy or the most exciting, but the progression from the start of the story to now has been very impressive from a storytelling standpoint. Irons has created the biggest military in the world through his genius, his cutthroat recruitment tactics, and brainwashing. Now the only thing left to do was launch Manticore, kill everyone that wasn't part of his militia, and keep anyone who didn't agree with him in a box or worse. The barracks we started at with Atlas had been turned into a prison. The walk through the yard is a wild visual, leading to Cormac, the Marine you fought under, being turned into an example. The get back at the end is awesome, as with any COD, but it's also the perfect finish for this particular story. As Iron hangs onto the ledge, desperately pleading all of what he's done for you, you try to let go of him. The only problem is that he's disabled your prosthetic he gave you at the very beginning, and this very prosthetic is what he's holding on to. To finish the story of Irons, you stab your prosthetic and slice it off, letting both your savior and your tormentor fall into the fiery abyss. You don't shoot him in slow-mo, you don't kill him outright. You literally and figuratively let him die to his own devices. All of this was his own fault. It didn't matter what he had given or who he knew. He had brought this finish unto himself. A perfect kill to the main villain of the story. Overall, the campaign is just fine. Not bad, not excellent. It's good. I feel like it could have taken some more world building for Hades, made him less of a blip in the story, but he did give a major impact. So I guess it wasn't that bad, but either way, I like the story mode and it adds to the package of the game. I fucking hate the Atlas Corporation. You could absolutely tell the multiplayer was the primary focus of Advanced Warfare. When I say that the multiplayer in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is one of my favorite FPS experiences ever, I absolutely mean it. I had never really played a multiplayer shooter that had such a diverse kit for you to use before. Not to mention, I was a trick shotter at heart, and watching FaZe Carl and FaZe Blaziken go crazy and hit all these gnarly shots. AW wasn't that great for trick shotting just because the targets were so unpredictable, but it was great for it just because, the obvious. The maps on multiplayer were for the most part fantastic. If anyone watching this knows this game, you'll understand what I mean when I say fuck Detroit though. If you don't understand and think I have some untold beef with Michigan, I'll let you rock with that. Fuck Michigan. They haven't done anything to me, but Maps like Riot, Terrace, Defender, and Sideshow fit so nicely into this game in their own ways, with the other maps ranging from good to mid. I'll always have a spot of hatred in my heart for Detroit though. I hated that map. I think in order for you to really understand why I love Advanced Warfare so much, you have to go back and watch the competitive games from that time period. Specifically competitive play on the greatest multiplayer game mode in any Call of Duty ever, Uplink. Uplink is the closest Call of Duty has ever been to a sport. Your goal is to grab the ball and score on the enemy side of the map by throwing it into their goal or dashing it in for more points. You could pass it to your team for pass plays, you could throw the ball into an enemy shooting you, making them put their gun away to hold the ball while you blast them, and of course you could beat the enemy over the head with the ball. The strategy in this game mode is some of the most entertaining shit in Call of Duty ever, and the comp teams running this up? Come on now, it's never getting matched, I am sorry. This doesn't even bring up the aesthetic of this game. All of your little upgrades from your EXO, the level of customization, the first look at weapon kits, which were a little controversial, but we'll get to that. Everything about how this game looks is amazing, really breaking new ground for the franchise as a whole. There's really not much to hate about the multiplayer in AW. It truly is my favorite part of this game, and it is so well done. But there's another game mode that isn't far behind. Hey, this is Editing Wubs. It looks like multiplayer is as dead as a doornail, which thank God, because this footage looks like shit. I tried to get 1080p footage and my processor was not having that, so thank God this multiplayer mode is dead, because I would have played with these recording settings and it would have looked awful. But yeah, unfortunately, not even private matches. Every time you die, you just get an error. So, oh well. Exo Zombies was a game mode added late into development after the scalding hate for Exo Survival. Even just in concept, all this game mode had to do was be classic zombies with a new movement system and some new enemies. That's all it needed, and it absolutely nailed it. This is easily my favorite version of zombies. Yeah, that's right, I said it, I said that shit. The movement is so perfectly tailored to an arcadey game mode like Zombies, the new combat mechanics like Exo Slam, added to diversify the gameplay. All of the classic power-ups are back with the addition of power-ups for infinite ammo and active traps. All the additions are so fun and make the game mode so much better. The maps are mostly fine, but some leave a lot to be desired. I'm not going to go too in-depth in all 4 Zombies maps, but I will cover them here, because all 4 of them serve a different purpose for different playstyles. Outbreak is the very first map, and it serves perfectly as the Nocturne Totem for Exo Zombies. A perfect launch pad for Exo Zombies with a simple Easter egg, a challenging infection round with dog rounds. It introduces the wonder weapon that carries over, and scaling difficulty that doesn't make the new movement overpowered. Infection introduces an escort scenario where you save a civilian for rewards, and if they die, you get punished. Problem is, it is very hard to defend a civilian solo queue. It's also a mandatory part of the map, so you will run into it and it will be borderline impossible alone, and also very annoying. It has Burger Town though, and the Easter egg is funny as hell, I love it. Carrier introduces an AI enemy mechanic, essentially spawning an S&D clutch scenario during later rounds. It also has a Plinko machine, a massive laser wonder weapon, and zombie fucking sharks. Very fun with a strange layout and a decent Easter egg. Descent is the final map and easily the best Exo Zombies map. A complex layout with a dope Easter egg, an awesome boss fight, a powerful and sick looking wonder weapon, and an interesting aesthetic that carries over well from Carrier to wrap up the story. I seriously cannot understand why anyone would hate Exo Zombies. It's just classic Zombies, but with a little twist. There is nothing to hate about it, and anyone who says they hate it is just sipping haterade. An absolute blast, I love it to death. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is truly the victim of a death from 1,000 paper cuts. It was far ahead of its time, coming out when people hated futuristic shooter titles. It peddled loot crates, which were a massive deal with how powerful some of these guns were that you could get. It released Exo Zombies way too late after announcing Exo Survival. And all of this happened at the beginning of its life cycle. The actual worst timing ever. It's such a shame that people back then, specifically COD fans, were so cynical and pessimistic with this title, because it deserves every last bit of love it receives. If I want one thing to come from this video, I want you, yes you watching, to either reinstall this game or dust off that old disc you have. Hell, get it for the first time if it's on sale. Experience this Call of Duty and make your own opinions on what it is now, because it is fantastic. It might not take me back to the days of playing the Wii, but it does take me back to when I first got my computer, wide-eyed, staring at my tiny monitor while I flew around a big-ass cool map. I'll never forget this title, and I don't care what anyone says. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is the most underrated Call of Duty. I'm so curious what the comments are going to say on this video. Thank you so much for watching though. The support on my Call of Duty videos, I mean, really, we've never seen anything like it. Thank you so much. I love all of you. Thanks for not clicking off. Take care of yourselves.